a few later, or just skip over the file because it's already there. That's if you have file names that are overly descriptive. If you have the file name straight off your digital camera, then it would be common to have ones that are the same file name. So be careful with what you choose there. So I'm just going to say choose a new name. That way, if I do it to 700 pictures, it's not going to stop on the third one and say, what do you want to do? So after I pick the location, then we got file naming. Do you want to use the file name that's currently on your image? Because some of those are not all that great. If you're going to give these images to clients, might not be the best to use. So you can choose rename. And in here you can tell what kind of name you'd like to use. I can say a custom name with a sequence after it. So down here I can type in my custom name. And then I can tell what number to start the numbering system with after that. And then that's what they're always going to be named. It's up to you. I'm going to say the same file names for now just to keep it simple. You can tell it to export video or not, just in case there happens to be a video clip within the folder you're exporting. I rarely do video in Lightroom. Karen does more of the video that we end up creating, so she might deal with that a little bit, not me. Got file settings. This is where you decide what file format you want to give them. These are the ones that we can export. As far as when would I use one of these versus the others, I would use JPEG if it's for the internet, for email, or for casual uses of, give to friends, that kind of thing. I would use PSD only if it has layers and whoever I'm going to give it to needs the layers. Layers I've made in Photoshop because we can't make layers in Lightroom. I would use TIFF if I want the absolute highest quality and I plan on giving it to somebody else and I don't know what software they're going to use. That means they're going to use my image on the cover of a magazine and I want the highest quality. It's not that these others are going to be lower quality all that much. PSD would be the same quality as a TIFF, but PSD is not a universal file format, meaning not all software can open a Photoshop file format image. Just about any software can open a TIFF. JPEG would degrade the quality a little bit. DNG I'd probably mainly use for myself. DNG is another version of a RAW file that could include my adjustments inside of it and other things, but I rarely give other people DNGs. It's not a standardized file format in that not very many other pieces of software can open it. And they have original. Original means whatever file format it's in right now, we're going to keep it in that file format. So I'm going to say JPEG for now, and on the right I can choose the quality of that JPEG. The higher the quality, the bigger the file size will be, but the better the image will look. Below that we have color space, and you have the choice of the three that I mentioned earlier, which is sRGB, Adobe RGB, and ProPhoto. When would I use one or the other? If you don't know what the image is going to be used for, and it's not going to be used for mega high quality reproduction, meaning it's not being used for a brochure, it's not being used for just really high quality output. The quality is not the #1 concern. Instead, you're not sure how it's going to be used. It might be used on the internet, might be used for email, might be used for simple little prints that are not museum quality things on your wall kind of things. Then sRGB would usually be what I'd choose. It's a safe one where if you open it in stupid software, software not designed to accurately show color, it'll still look okay. Adobe RGB is what I would use for higher quality output. If I'm going to print it on my printer on my desk, if I'm going to print it in a high quality brochure or a high-end magazine that has really nice glossy paper, not the stuff that looks almost like the newspaper. Yeah. And I would only use ProPhoto RGB if I really know what it means and I know why I'm using it and that kind of stuff. I wouldn't casually send people to ProPhoto, but if you know what ProPhoto is, you know why you'd like to use it, then I'm not going to discourage you at all. But it's just, if you're uneducated about ProPhoto, it's easy to screw things up, make things too saturated to print, and have things look weird if you give them to other people and they don't know what they're doing with the file. So that's how I think about those. This limit file size is useful if you ever have a website that says, you can upload your profile picture on Facebook or something, but it tells you limited to 16K or something